afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this stream. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Andrews alongside meteorologist Terry Eliasen and our executive weather producer. A really exciting week coming up for us.
We're in a perpetual state of next weather alerts. It feels like it just goes on.
One after another.
One storm after another, although we do have a little bit of a break here the next couple of days. That, thank goodness, the storm on Tuesday, which we'll get to in a minute, looks like it's going to be largely a miss. If that had been another big hit, and you know what I mean, we need a couple days off.
We did. We needed a cooler because over the weekend we had plenty of snow to talk about, and if the snow on Tuesday wasn't going to be a huge miss for us, largely, I mean, we wouldn't have gotten to enjoy the snow. We'd be just right on a Tuesday. As
it is, we have 2 storms in the next 7 days to take a look at. But let's quickly recapping this weekend. So Boston snow events this season, we've yet to have what I would consider a major snowstorm. The 5.5 inches that we had Saturday night into Sunday was the biggest storm of the season, and I think a lot of New Englanders would be like, nah, like it was a good snow, but it's definitely not like we have not had like a classic nor'easter or blizzard yet.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting.
I mean, given the active pattern, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened, but everything, the thing with the pattern we're in right now is everything is moving so quickly. Literally, storms are zipping from the Pacific to the Atlantic in like a couple days, and so you don't have time to really accumulate enough snow.
And a lot of this has been like the overnight hours into the morning, and then you wake up and it's boom.
And that's it, yeah. So we continue to show this graphic. We still have not had a 6-inch or greater snowstorm in Boston now almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years on February 25th. So we thought maybe this weekend would do it. We got close, but we were short by ½ an inch. So the beat goes on. 3 years is just, that's a long time in Boston without 6 inches. But February, I mean, by Boston standards, February 8.4 inches, and we're, not quite halfway through the month. So we're pretty much on tap for like a semi-average February.
Yeah, finally. I guess we snowed all the snow there was in 2015.
Yeah, we got it all out in 2015. But compared to the course of the last couple of years, definitely been a colder and snowier February and winter overall. Boston is now about, 6.8 inches below average to date, which is we're pretty close. 8.4 inches this month, like we said, so not bad. And
the 5.5 really helped us out. I mean, but if you think last year, though, we're more than double where we were at this point in the season than last year, so at least that's something.
We're on pace for a more whatever a regular winter is. We're on pace for it. Worcester is still well behind. So Boston's actually had more snow in February than Worcester has had, which is a little unusual. Worcester typically getting more snow than Boston, but anyways, they're still more than a foot below average to date in Worcester. But still time to catch up. And I only threw this up because just to kind of goes to speak to February so far. There's just been one storm after another. And again, not major amounts of precipitation, but 7 out of 9 days something has been falling from the sky. Just kind of in a persistent active pattern. And that actually is tied for the most days through the first 9 days of February. 7 out of 9 days we've tied with these other years for the most days with measurable precip thus far in February. So just another way of saying it's been very busy, and the beat goes on. Next 3 things to watch.
Yeah, so we got a couple. I think Tuesday, it could have been exciting. It'll be exciting for some to our south. For us, it's going to be, we could see some flurries, but really not much. The next concern is going to be Thursday, and the wintry mix is going to be quite exciting because that's our next weather alert that we have.
Yeah. So Thursday, this is going to be, we'll get into the timing, but actually let's show you where the storm is right now. Can't really detect much other than some clouds down near Dallas and in that area, but that is where the next storm is coming from. And we'll watch it track just to our south late Tuesday night into Wednesday. This model is actually a little more bullish than most, so I wonder if snow will get as far north as the Mass Pike. Probably not. It's probably to me, it's really just like a South Coast, Cape Islands, light flurries, light snow that could amount to at most some coatings. I mean, maybe an inch if I don't know if we're lucky, but really just kind of mostly a mist, just kind of a graze to our south. And that would be, again, Tuesday night into the first part of Wednesday. So really,
which will be nice because this is part of the break that we're talking about.
Exactly, right. This is really not even, we're not considering this a storm. It's largely a mist for most of the area. And our next storm really doesn't arrive until the wee hours of Thursday morning. And so we'll watch, first off, this is the storm scooting by us Tuesday night and early Wednesday. You can see it just kind of scraping by. But here's that next one, and you can already see it's kind of taking a more inland route, and it's, a storm sitting in that position is not going to miss very often, and of course this one's not. So I'd say after midnight, Wednesday night, we start getting some snow, and much like, when was the storm that we went snow to sleet to rain? They're all meshing together now. Was it like last Thursday?
I think, yeah, it was. It was like a week ago.
About a week ago. Similar, if you remember that event where you shoveled like an inch or two of slop and crust, this will probably be similar to that. We'll probably talking an inch or two of snow. Warmer air moves in aloft, turns it over to sleet or some sort of ice, and there may be some rain involved again, much like last storm, more so over southeastern Mass. And the whole thing's out of here quickly again. It's like 8 to 10 hours worth of precip. That's sort of been the pattern overall.
And with a lot of it starting up over midnight, there's going to be many people who wake up and it's like, oh, well, there it went.
Exactly. I wonder about, we already had the question from some folks here about schools on Thursday morning. I could definitely see, with snow to ice to rain, and you're waking up the superintendents are getting up at 5 in the morning and it's maybe sleeting out. I wouldn't be shocked for a bunch of 2-hour delays maybe Thursday morning. A lot of schools canceled last week with a similar storm. Of course, the timing was a little different, but so I wouldn't be shocked to see some schools delay or cancel Thursday.
It's definitely more of a morning commute impact, and then towards the end of the day, afternoon, evening, things are winding
down quickly, right? Yeah. So really, if you're heading out in the morning Thursday, that's the worst part of the day, and of course that's when the schools head out. So we'll have to see what happens there. But this is another one of these cases where it starts as snow, but then we get this sort of a nose of warmer air coming in several thousand feet above our heads. So the snow falls into that warmer air, melts to rain, and then it goes back into a cold layer, which is at the bottom of the atmosphere in this case, and probably freezes over to those little sleet pellets. Very similar to what happened last year. Now we get really techie.
Oh, this is exciting.
You only get this on the stream or YouTube. Not going to show this on TV.
This is peeking behind the curtain of the graphic you just showed.
Right. So the graphic we just showed is basically like a layman's way of showing what this is. This is called a skew-T. It's something that we look at behind the scenes. It's a sounding of the atmosphere. And just to kind of give you an orientation, so within that circle, there's that dotted line that's going from like bottom left, the 0 line, up to the upper right. So that's the freezing line in the atmosphere. And you can see in that circle, the red is what is the forecasted air temperature. So it goes to the right of that dotted line.
Right, so it warms up a little bit above freezing.
Right.
And this is after we've gotten plenty of deep moisture that was below freezing, so we've got some snowflakes forming up there.
Right. And so when it goes to the right of that dotted line, that means above freezing. So you get basically snow falling into air that's above freezing,
and melt right back off.
And then the line goes back to the left. The red line goes back to the left of the dotted line, meaning it's cold again. So again, just another way of showing this is kind of behind the curtains what we're looking at. To find sort of, and again, this is just one model. It doesn't necessarily mean this is what's going to happen, but each model has its own sounding. You're looking at multiple layers. It's what makes it fun.
Yeah, well, we talked a lot this week. You've probably heard about the dendritic growth zone. That's something we've brought up a lot over the week. And over to the left of this skew-T, if you look on the left side of it, it says DGZ. And so what we're looking at
it's
right
actually
here.
Our picture's in front of it right now.
Of course, as soon as I reference it.
There you go.
But so where you see it says DGZ, that's what we're talking about. We're saying all last week, where do we get those good fluffy snowflakes to form? And so we want that freezing line below 0. There's a good amount of moisture. With the green line, we're talking dew point temperatures. The red line, that's going to be air temperatures. So there is some good formation there below freezing, like the -10 to -20 degrees Celsius, where we get those snowflakes to form. But then once it gets closer to the surface, that falls a little bit closer to us and it melts off and then refreezes once it gets closer. So this is why we're alerting for this. Like, these are the reasons why we put the alert in place. What's different from this system compared to something that's just mostly snow, because that's when it gets all slippery. There's ice that forms at the bottom and can create all kinds of
Meteorology 101 lesson today.
Right.
With the one thing, so our best storms happen when you get the snowflakes forming in that DGZ zone. What you really want is there to be a lot of moisture in there. You'd really want the red and green lines to be right close together, so you actually have snowflakes forming there. They might be a little too dry, but nonetheless, that's like kind of where the primary like snowfall formation happens in some of our major storms. Let's get on to less complicated things and just talk about this active pattern ahead, which again, we did this last week with storm 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just keeps going. So there's Tuesday's one that goes south of us. There's the Thursday storm, and we are totally not done because a much bigger potential storm heading our way this weekend. You can see a whole lot of precipitation.
Oh, yeah. Look how far stretching that is too.
Yeah.
So that's why we flagged that already for Sunday coming up. So we haven't alerted quite yet, but you know,
we will.
We got Thursday to deal with first.
But you can see snow and rain, but almost the entire eastern half of the country. So this is going to be probably a juicier storm than the next couple. And again, this would be Saturday into Sunday. Precip type and amounts yet to be determined. My guess is it's probably going to be another one of those frozen, starts as some sort of frozen precip, changes over to rain in some areas. It's probably going to be a very messy Sunday. And then I don't even want to talk about storm. Then there's another one, but that could be sometime next week.
Man, what an active February.
It is. It's been something, and we are still a ways to go. But before we go, a couple kind of cool things. If you're out tonight just before sunset, the nearly full moon and Mars will be kind of close together, so that's kind of fun. And the full moon will be full Wednesday morning, so really tomorrow night it'll be almost full. And of course, aptly named for February, the full snow moon.
Oh, the snow moon.
Yep. I wonder why they call it the snow moon, because it just keeps snowing in February, I guess. But these moon rises it's great timing because over the next few days, Tuesday the moon rises about 4 p.m. and Wednesday it rises about 5 p.m. So you get the nice full moon rising up just at sunset. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, nice. And we can see it a little bit too before it gets too cloudy.
Let's hope so.
And snowy.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we got to just throw one more thing in the Valentine's Day forecast. So this would be post whatever happens on Thursday, post storm. Looks kind of like a sunny day, chilly, probably a little bit gusty, but certainly, you know, if you're going out, if you have dinner plans, should be fine.
Not bad, yeah, not bad, because it is sandwiched in between. We're bookending some storms on either side of this day, so we're kind of lucking out. If you do want to get out on Friday, take advantage of that. Tim, it's just going to be cold, a little windy maybe.
Yeah. Not too bad. And then again, the weekend storm, we have alert possible. I'm sure that'll change over to alert soon enough. But Saturday clouding up, and then whatever goes down is probably going to be largely Saturday night into Sunday. More on that to come, but we're going to focus on Thursday first. Eric will be in tonight. He'll obviously give some more information on that little brush by storm on Tuesday night, and then we'll start to focus on our weather alert for Thursday again. So.
Nice job on the forecast, by the way. The snow totals from this weekend verified beautifully.
Everything went
great
quite
job
well. Yes. Yeah, I think most everybody in our viewing area, maybe out away from the South Coast, had somewhere like 4, 5, 6 inches.
Oh yeah.
We had 6.5 at my house. Up further north, a couple 7s.
Oh yeah, a lot of our weather watchers sending in multiple 7+ inch snowfall reports, especially North Shore.
Yeah.
Gosh, some really good totals coming out of there. So.
I guess the forecast went well. Whether you wanted the snow or not, you got it.
It went about as well as it really. I mean, slam dunk. So well done.
Well done for the whole team. Yeah, and hopefully we keep rolling with the next couple storms. But again, check out Eric tonight at 5 with an update on the Tuesday storm, the Thursday storm, the weekend storm, and Alyssa will be back in tomorrow morning actually.
That's right.
For Jason. So we'll see you then.